Catholic geek. The Catholic, why? What are relics? After the prophet Elisha died, he was buried in a cave. Sometime later, another man died suddenly, and his body was quickly placed in the same tomb so the burial party could escape approaching raiders. Scripture tells us what happened next. When the man touched the bones of Elisha, he came back to life and stood on his feet. 2 Kings 13:20-21. This striking event gives us a clear biblical example of a relic, an object connected with one of God's holy servants. Throughout Scripture and church history, such objects have been venerated and, at times, have been the means through which God works miracles, especially healings. The Church traditionally recognizes three kinds of relics. A first-class relic is a physical part of a saint's body, such as bones or hair. Elisha's bones, through which God restored life, are a biblical example of this kind of relic. A second-class relic is an object a saint used during his or her earthly life, such as clothing or personal items. Scripture records the power God worked through such a relic when Elisha struck the Jordan River with the mantle that had belonged to Elijah. At Elisha's touch, the waters were divided, and he crossed over. 2 Kings 2:14. A third-class relic is an object that has been touched to a first-class relic. The New Testament provides an example of this as well. St. Luke tells us that God wrought special miracles by the hand of Paul, so that even handkerchiefs and aprons that had touched his body were carried to the sick, and the diseases left them, and the evil spirits departed from them. Acts 19:11-12. It is important to understand that the power associated with relics is not magic. The relic itself does nothing on its own. Any miracle that occurs comes from God alone, who freely chooses to work through material things, just as he does through the sacraments and sacramentals, or through the touch of his saints even during their lifetimes. Why then does the Church venerate relics? We might ask a similar question: why would someone cherish a lock of a loved one's hair or keep a treasured memento of someone dear? The honor shown to a relic flows from the love and reverence shown to the saint, who is beloved not for himself alone, but as a living witness to God's grace, holiness, and power. Relics ultimately point beyond themselves, to the God who works wonders in his saints.